Hello, welcome back to another episode of From Prison to the Streets. I'm Eric, and I did 11 years in prison, and I talk about prison stuff. Today, we're talking about 5 weird prison customs, habits, oddities, whatever, things prisoners do to survive and live in a prison environment. So, be sure to like and subscribe, and here we go. First one, number 1. When prisoners are in the chow hall before they get up, oftentimes they'll knock on the table. Sometimes it's just once, sometimes it's twice. You knock, you get up when you're done, and oftentimes other inmates will knock back. And where that originates, at least from what I was told by older prisoners and stuff, was back in the day, you weren't allowed to talk in a lot of the prisons in Kansas. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was also a rough environment. So when you got up, you would knock on the table to, let people know that you were getting up and leaving, that you weren't getting up to put hands on someone or start something. Kansas prisons used to be really rough, especially back in the 70s, 80s, early 90s. So if you just got up, it would kind of set people on edge. The chow hall was a very, very violent place. You have hundreds of inmates in the same place at the same time. So if you wanted to get at somebody and put hands on them or stab them or something like that, the chow hall was a very good place to do it. So when you were done eating, you'd knock on the table to let everybody know that you were getting up to leave, and people would knock back to acknowledge that. Second weird custom, showering in your boxers. I don't know if this is something that happens in other states or if it's just a Kansas thing, but in Kansas prisons, you will see a lot of guys showering in their boxers. The reason why we do that, well, there's not a single reason. There's a few reasons why we do that. One of the reasons is guys like privacy. Another reason is to kind of keep people from checking you out in the shower. There's a lot of shower sharks around, so you kind of have to watch out for that. But the biggest reason guys will shower in their boxers is more to deal with fights and stuff like that. No one wants to get in a fight when they're naked, not really. And if you do get in a fight in the shower and the cops come to break it up and they hit you with pepper spray, you don't really want your nether regions to be coated in that stuff. It doesn't feel good. So you wear your boxers, it gives you an extra layer of protection against stuff like that. Or if you have to leave the shower in a hurry, it's good to have a pair of boxers on. From a distance, if a cop sees you wearing wet boxers heading to your cell, they might not be able to tell they're wet, But if you just have to leave the shower in a hurry and you leave the shower without boxers, well, they're going to notice that. There was an incident when I was in the shower one time, and a guy came in. He stole a file from one of the maintenance crews, and he had sharpened it to a nice point. And he was waiting for this dude to get in the shower who owed him money. And when the guy came in the shower, he was going to stab him up. Now, I didn't want to be there for that. I don't want people trying to come to me and ask me if I saw anything or anything like that, nor do I want to be implicated, because in Kansas, if you're present when a felony goes down and you don't do anything about it and you don't talk about it, then you're implicated in it. So I didn't want that to happen. So I was in my boxers and I just left the shower. So yeah, it's a good thing I had my boxers on, because otherwise I would have had to, dry off, go get my boxers and all that stuff and leave. But I showered in my boxers. Third weird thing that people do in prisons. When you are living in a dorm environment and you go to use the bathroom, if you go to sit on the shitter, you're probably going to take one leg out of your pants. It kind of depends on which prison you're in, if it's one of the more violent ones or not. But sometimes people will try to beat guys up when they're on the shitter. So you take one leg out of your pants. That way, if somebody tries to attack you while you're on the shitter, your feet aren't essentially tied together and you can fight back. It's pretty hard to fight when your legs are stuck together. Number 4, birthday beatdowns. Something that you'll see in prison is guys getting beat up on their birthdays. I've heard a couple of different reasons as far as why that's done. Some people say they get jealous of guys. You don't want to hear someone be like, oh, hey, it's my birthday, yay. And, you're so miserable, you're just going to go beat them up for saying something positive. To me, that's not one of the ones that holds water. In Kansas prisons, I didn't meet a lot of people like that. But you would get birthday beatdowns, and the explanation that I heard for that was because it keeps you from getting soft. Your buddies want to make sure that you're not getting soft as you age. So you'll get a beatdown every year just to make sure you've been in a fight that year, you're staying in fighting shape. Number 5, walking behind your buddies. If you're on your way to chow or something like that, or walk in the yard or whatever, oftentimes you won't walk side by side with your buddy. You won't walk in front of your buddy. You'll walk about 10 feet behind him, sometimes a little bit more. The reason why you do that is if somebody tries to get at your friend, if someone tries to jump him from behind or stab him or something like that, you're behind him and you can see that threat coming before he can. So you can stop that attack before they catch your buddy unawares. I used to do this all the time. I had friends that were always getting in trouble, always starting shit with people, or they just didn't have any filter and told people exactly what they thought of them. Well, as a result, they had a lot of enemies, and they weren't people who were going to try to confront them directly. They were going to try to get them from behind. So I would walk about 10 feet behind, and if any threat were to show up behind them, I would be there to take care of it. So that is 5 weird prison customs. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's kind of a short one, but I hope you enjoyed it. Before I go, let me say I have a music video that's coming out soon. So it was supposed to release today, but my distributor didn't have the metadata reviewed yet, but hopefully it will be out soon, and I really hope that you guys enjoy that. I also have some t-shirts and hoodies and stuff for sale on Teespring. I'll put a link somewhere so you guys can go check that out. I would greatly appreciate it. It supports the channel and what I do. I don't really do this for money, but these videos take time, and any little bit helps with equipment and stuff like that. I'm constantly trying to get better equipment so I can put out better videos for you guys, and any little bit helps. So anyway, I'm Eric. This has been another episode of From Prison to the Streets. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of the channel. I will see you all later. Break these chains. They can